Hey! Hello, viewers and vagrants. This is Dice Bag, artist, game designer, world builder, and occasional VTuber, and we're doing the art thing mostly today again. Because, games are for people with free time, and I ain't got none of that. Dice Bag is a busy boy. All work and no play makes Dice a rich boy, except he's not getting rich off this, unfortunately. But anyways, today we're gonna draw the final stage of these two guys here. And then we're gonna see what else pops up. I got some other designs I want to work on, but I probably won't get to them all tonight. So yeah, that's the plan. And that should be interesting. So, let's get into voice chat first. That way I don't forget. Alright, there we go. Alright, so if any of the boys want to pop in, they can talk while I'm doing this. But anyways, yeah, we got a blank canvas here. What the? Well, that was quick.
Yes, I was watching the intro.
Well, I'm glad somebody's watching. Anyways, there's you. I got the design already sketched up, because I was bored at work, of course. That's what happens. So, this should be a pretty easy one. You know, a little few modifications to play around with, but generally the gist is like so.
Little claws holding it. Small tendril.
Yeah.
Did the eyes come off?
No. Although, that actually might be an interesting feature for the creature. If they could just like roll their eyes somewhere and take a gander at what's going on.
The way they're held on to make, or at least puts that idea in mind.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I'll think about that. I didn't intend for them to actually be able to toss their eyes around. But, that could be a thing.
Most things do.
Okay. So are you working on anything, Wolf?
Yep. I'm tackling an old piece I did in about 2015 and gave up on.
Ooh.
So it is vastly.
Old stuff is always kind of weird to go back to.
Well, this one actually had a really good base to go off of. So I already had like the pose and everything. I just had to draw it in my own style. Or my new style. The old one was my own style. Taking a break from lewd and doing something actiony instead.
Ooh.
That's nice. I did the Volksmarch today, so my legs are dead.
Oh yeah?
Basically, it's a 6.2 mile walk where you go from the bottom of a hill to the top of Crazy and back.
I see. Yeah, I slept today mostly.
That's good too.
Slept and prepared for the stream. This is basically my morning.
Jeez.
Of course, I had to work last night. That sucked. Well, I don't know. As sucky as it gets when you're basically just sitting around waiting on a machine all night. On the upside, I tend to have a lot of time to make creature designs up.
You get that free time to doodle.
Yeah. Should probably draw in the entire guy's head instead of starting with the tentacles.
Yeah, it might be nice to have a good foundation to build off.
Yeah, I was thinking this guy actually, he reminds me of Frylock. Just like the way his face is shaped or something.
I'm going to show you some insight, and I don't think it's the shape of the face so much. It might be the shape because it's angular, but it's probably the Fu Manchu you gave him.
That too. That too.
But yeah, he definitely does have more top-heavy design like Fry Case. Disapproving look and a scowl and a Fu Manchu.
Yeah, I like the tentacle beard I gave this guy. Kinda gives him some character.
The Shokushu Chu. I'm not sure what Fu Manchu really means or what part of it means the mustache, but I do know that Shokushu means
Means what?
tentacles.
Ah,
Shokushu.
I see, I see. Gotta give this guy tentacles because he's got the anomaly class, which is the tentacle class. Of course, the middle stage is kind of missing tentacles, so I guess he just has to smack people with his eye stalks. That's one little oversight I didn't think about at the time.
Actually,
Actually...
maybe. Okay, whatever. But maybe instead
that's
of
the
the
first
eyes.
thing that goes to my mind.
Yeah, I know it is. It's a curse. Mine has been tainted by meme. But one thing the eyes could do, instead of like just dropping off and letting them roll around, what happens is they go back inside the.
Go back inside what? Discord keeps cutting
They go
you
back
out.
They go back inside the stalk, the tendril.
Okay.
So I mean, that's how they could do their slap attack without hurting their eyes.
I suppose. For the middle guy, yeah.
Or they could still come off and put them in their mouth or something, and then whap you.
They could juggle them and smack you while they're up in the air.
Yes, that's very effective. The middle stage monster has a chance of going blind if it misses an attack.
It just grows back.
Mhm.
Plus, he's got 3 of them. He can afford to lose 1 or 2.
I guess if they go blind, if they grow back, that means they can just whap people with them regardless. They don't have to have something special.
That's true. It's still weird just to smack people with an eye stalk, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah. I keep thinking the canvas is tilted because the actual image is tilted. That's what I get for having unsteady hands when I photograph my sketchbook.
Let's see, if you have other designs, are these new ones or ones that we've seen before?
Say what?
You have new designs, like if you finish this, or other design.
Oh, after this guy, you mean?
Yes, after this guy.
I think some of them I've shown sketches of on mines.
Hmm.
Like at least one. One of them is the cat in the jar.
Something not working right?
Huh?
You said,
Just checking it out from a distance. I was thinking the eye stalk might be too thick, or thin, or thick. Yeah, thick. That's the one I was worried about. I don't think it looks alright.
It didn't look out of place. Everything is Daijobu.
Gonna be so many circles to deal with. There we go. Autosave. Alright. That's how we draw circles. Whoops.
The tried and true technique. Make a circle, delete smaller circle.
Yes. The click and erase.
Even I'm guilty of that sometimes.
I don't know why you'd phrase it like that.
because
No,
there's a multiple of other tools that exist.
not like there's any shame in it.
Well, I guess there isn't. There's nothing. Even I constantly do the copy pasta technique when you have to transfer something to the other side.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just don't want to spend the time.
Mm.
It's one of the good things about digital art. And
Mhm.
probably one of the reasons why I'm actually able to do art of any, like, skill level. Not because I'm bad, but just it takes too long to get things right when you're working with traditional.
Traditional art does not have a Control Z.
No.
Though that is something that should be considered a guilty pleasure, especially when you have a lot of people like Kohath and I who do the line control, line undo, line undo, line undo, line undo for the same line 10 or 20.
Yeah, I'm a man, I just erase my lines.
Mm.
Actually, I don't erase mines, I draw a bunch of lines and then carve out the parts that I don't like.
Well, I do that sometimes too. But when it comes to actual line, that's like the actual line phase, that's because you're doing essentially what I do in my sketch phase.
Dude. I think I'll leave drawing the actual eyes until after I draw the stalks.
Mm-hmm. Draw the stalks, stay in the same headspace. Draw the eyes, and then stay in the headspace.
Yeah. Draw
Which
a
is sound advice.
circle, then copy and paste it a few times. Workflow life hacks for the audience there.
Perhaps. Copy paste is your friend.
Oh. It'd help if I used the pen instead of the eraser to draw.
When you're using the eraser, you're sculpting.
Hmm. This stalk is gonna give me trouble. Ah, right. All right.
This angle looks.
I think Discord cut you off again. What was that?
This angle looks fine.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. The way you have it now is good.
Yeah, I agree. Just, it didn't look right having such squiggly tentacles all around, except for, like, the front two. There we go. Make the cycle, then erase. Make the cycle, then erase. Make the cycle, and erase. Easy. I might have to shrink down some of them since they're more in the back. Go like so. You know what?
It seems we're
We should
engrossed in our.
say what?
Oh, I said it seems we're both engrossed in our art.
Kinda. I was just thinking we should probably talk about the new Pokemon games or something.
Oh,
Since it's like podcast mode here.
hmm Yeah, we had a small little interaction about because a lot of people say the legendaries are over designed, and I can see that, but I actually kind of like them.
Uh, overall, I don't think they're bad. They are a little over designed, but the main thing is the freaking vehicle features.
Yeah, how they look like motorcycles.
I hate that. I hate it because I just know, they're gonna like have an entire gimmick based around that. We're gonna have a freaking racing thing instead of a sports ball thing, like they had last time. It's gonna be freaking Pokemon 5Ds or something.
Interesting. I like how GigaChat is one of the professors, though, because I haven't really looked into it. But are there two professors then, or what?
Apparently, yeah, it looks like there's version exclusive professors or something.
Oh, so they're not in the same one; they're separate.
I guess, I don't know, it might be like Team Magma and Team Aqua.
Oh yeah, so they might both be in the same one, but you only get one for the game you have.
Yeah, something like that. That's
Something.
kind of what I would expect.
Definitely weird, but yeah, it's definitely weird that GigaChat is a professor. I'm 100% assuming that's intentional.
I didn't actually peg him as GigaChat at first, but now that you mention it, yeah, the image is, the resemblance is uncanny.
Like, I may be in too deep in the internet, maybe that's it, but I'm not the first one to come to that conclusion also. Because I thought it, and then literally minutes later, I saw a bunch of people posting it. Yeah, he's got the hairstyle. Although I do think one of the things I notice is they're not very. The designs are kind of lackluster, especially because a lot of it's like school uniforms and stuff.
Yeah, the school uniforms look awful.
Mm-hmm. It's like they've got good character design, they know how to make faces and stuff, but those are still just some really bad clothes. Which is weird, because that's become one of the new things of games, decking out your character.
Yeah, I think maybe they're just thinking, like, people are gonna customize their characters anyways, so why bother?
Yeah, but if you customize your character, not the NPCs.
Yeah, but I haven't seen too many NPCs besides the rival.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, I think that's a generally bad idea for them, just because Pokemon they've had very iconic designs for their protagonists.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like generic kid. Like for the past few generations, it's been generic kid.
Yeah, there's been really nothing special about these new ones. Especially this last gen. Oh no, what?
Oh, I just selected something by accident and then moved it around. I could just move it back. No big deal.
But yeah, especially this last gen. Like, no difference, or at least nothing special about them. They're just random school kids. General Shotokan Protag. Maybe they're leaning into it. Who knows?
I don't know. I suspect that the personal customization thing that they've always got going on now is playing into that.
Take your bland character and make him special.
Yeah, it's like, why bother if people are just gonna change it anyways? Which, I don't really play around with that stuff in the Pokemon games, so it doesn't work for me.
For me, it depends. Like in the Pokemon games, it's nothing great, so there's no real reason to do it. But in games like, one of my favorite games is Resonance of Fate. One of the whole things about the game is that you're doing these flashy, cool moves, and you find really cool clothes throughout the game. So it really depends on what the characters look like and what the clothes look like.
I guess so. I guess it kind of depends on just the depth of customization too, because I'm pretty sure in Pokemon everybody pretty much has the same face.
Yep. And generally have the same face. They also started adding, you can choose your like skin color and hair color and stuff now too.
Yeah.
So you might not even be. So the reason they don't have stylistic protagonists is because there is no protagonist.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a weakening of the Pokemon brand.
It is. I liked playing.
I really hope they kind of throttle back some of the gimmick stuff they do. I just want to get back to basics.
Just play the game.
Take the stuff that worked out with like the Legends Arceus stuff and just give us a solid regular game with that.
You'll get nothing and like it.
I'll get Pokemon 5Ds and not buy the game.
I'm already in the camp where I've just decided I am done. I am done. So it doesn't even matter if the game is good anymore. I'm just done. The last one I had fun with, like, I'll admit, I think I did have fun with X and Y. Mega Evolutions were pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of it.
I'd say X and Y was the peak of the Pokemon.
Yeah,
After that, it kind of went downhill.
Yeah, it was the portable 3D that most people wanted. Because Black and White was the last gen that had pixel Pokemon. They were like really animated too.
Yeah. Black and White is kind of my favorite gen, but X and Y is so much better to play. Just because everything's more convenient and everything looks good.
One thing I miss from Black and White is the danger music. When your Pokemon goes below 15% health, and so the beat changes. I
don't remember what that sounds like off the top of my head.
I kind of remember it, but I'm not going to tell. But yeah, I meant
You're not
I
gonna
like
acapella it for me?
no, I get nothing in life.
Come on. Wolf Steel karaoke. Let's do it.
Maybe one day. I'm not a terrible singer, but I'm not doing it right now.
That's something I like to do sometime, but... Like, what's the point of it if you don't have a significant live audience, really?
Yeah, I know.
You can't archive it. Well, I don't know. Odyssey might be okay with that. I don't know. Hmm. Alright, time to put some eye details in, I guess. You know what? I just remembered something.
What?
For my nap, my dad texted me, and I never replied to him.
Oh.
Let's see. Where you at, Daddy? Yeah, he wants to make plans to go to the Chinese buffet, which is a place that freaking, like, straight up closed down during COVID. But now it's back open. They only did takeout for a long time because I guess they Chinese and they're afraid of everything.
Who knows? Cause see, where I live, nothing shut down, nothing at all.
Well, I'm in Illinois, so we had to deal with Jelly Belly Pritzker's orders.
We had some businesses try to do mask mandate, but that didn't last longer than month. What else about the... I can't really think of anything about the new Pokemon, because it is only like a smaller reveal.
Yeah, they don't have a lot shown yet. I do like the smaller designs they've shown more than the legendaries. And they got good names for them.
I like the meme. Someone made a evolutionary guess of what Lechonk is going to turn into. Lechonk is going to evolve into Lechungus, into Amungus.
That would be interesting if Pokemon just went straight up memes on everything.
Just accept it.
Might
Embrace
as
it.
well. See, what would Lamungus look like? Just...
Oh, the way they drew him, he looks kind of like an imposter or whatever. And what they did is they made his nose really big and his ears grew large to cover the top. Chungus. Lamungus.
There we go. Chat's awfully quiet today.
It's a bit.
Don't have the boys in here yet.
Yeah. And say now more often I've started shilling you in a bunch of other groups.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because you never know.
You never know. That's why you put all your links in every single thing you do.
Throw out a big net, you destroy the environment, but you at least try.
Getting attention on the internet is so freaking hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've been doing it for about a decade. I just haven't taken the dark path.
Of what? Internet
Even,
drama?
well, no, not internet drama, but I mean, like, even though I do tend to draw the NSFW stuff, I don't pander. Like, I don't draw the semen demon or the
You don't draw the girl of the week.
yeah, I don't draw the girl of the week. I don't draw the armpit fetishes or the foot fetish. I swear, the only reason armpits are a fetish is because Japanese people aren't allowed to know what, privates look like.
I don't understand how that's a thing.
Oh. Well, you know how Japanese has to censor genitals and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I just take that to extreme and say, like, the reason a lot of fetishes come about is because since you can't draw that, you have to learn how to draw other things extra detailed that might look like other things.
Tentacles.
Yep. Actually, that's literally where tentacles came from. Because they didn't have to be censored back. No, no, no.
I've
Literally.
seen some art that goes
Back in the
way
day is
back
what
in
I'm
the
talking
day.
about. Mhm. Well, what I'm saying is
Old boy Hokusai.
the actual act itself still has to be censored, that part, but the tentacles themselves don't. So yes, when you take one puzzle piece and you put the other puzzle piece together, those puzzle pieces have to be censored. But when they're detached, the tentacle doesn't have to.
Personally, I always thought the whole armpit thing was on account of the way it attaches to the boob. But that's just
Well,
me.
yeah, it's the way it attaches, and because of that, there's a crease and fold of skin. But if you were allowed to look at the real thing, you wouldn't have to draw armpits like that.
I usually
I'm just
don't
saying,
see armpits drawn that way.
well, you and
Even
I
when
walk
it's
in different circles.
a little kinky.
Look, you're an artist. You're not the same kind of artist that I am, but the kind of artist that I am walks in the circles where you're not interested in stuff, but you're gonna see it anyway.
You don't
It's the
know about the
unfortunate
other
fact
stuff
of
I've
life.
done.
Ah. But
We
still,
don't talk
it's
about
hard.
it much because I like to keep things very separated.
Mhm.
But
But I'm just saying, there's a lot of things you learn about that you might not want to have.
okay, my own drawing is confusing me now. Alright, there we go. Maybe. Alright. I think this boy is ready for colors.
The children, they yearn for them.
Hmm. You're gonna have to find a color for this guy that doesn't look like garbage. Oh hey, talking about the lewds brought Koheth out.
Of course.
Why is his
Maybe you could do something
jawline so
with the lewd.
chiseled? Because it just looked boring without the chisel, that's why. And I will not give feet a chance.
Maybe you could make it a little more blue, because it looks like he's getting darker and darker. It goes from pink to more of a purple. And not like blue, but sort of like in the very bottom left of that circle. Hmm.
Sure you are, Koheth. Yeah, I guess we could continue the trend of him just getting bluer. And darker. Let's see how that looks.
He can say that. I'm sure the lewd specifically wasn't the fact that drew him, but it was more of an energy.
He just
There was a
sensed
vibe
it.
and
Whoops.
yes, Kohath, have you seen Lechungus? Or Lechong? Lechungus isn't real.
Have you seen Lamungus over here?
Lechungus isn't real. He can't hurt.
Lechonk has a Turtwig vibe to it, he says. I don't know about that.
I mean, it has more of a Tepig. Because remember, Tepig was a thing.
Yeah, Tepig is a pig.
There's no saving.
They're gonna turn it into an ugly boar later, though, he says. And probably true. It's either a big ugly boar or a furry. Place your bets.
Technically, a big ugly boar is just a fat ugly bastard that's furry. Koeth stands fat ugly bastard. Pokemon.
How do you feel about that, Kohath? Are we gonna get some art? If it's a big chunky furry thing.
Probably not from him, but it's definitely going to exist.
Yeah, Kohath's got too many characters to draw of his own.
Absolute masochist. Of course, we're all kind of masochists here. We're all artists.
I guess.
I'm going to hold you to that.
What's happening here?
No,
Here's something happening. Oh. You know what? I just realized I don't have a whole lot of shading to do because it's basically just a ball. I'll give him a little definition on his chiseled face, I guess. And we'll just call it good. Ugh. Can't get this stroke right. You're vibing to the Amiga game music, Kohath? That's pretty cool. I like this stuff. This is the music for a game called Onslaught, which kind of sucks, but I have fond nostalgic memories of it nonetheless.
Yep. Before I joined voice chat, I was vibing to the music.
And the best part is, this game is so old that there's no copyright on the music, so I can just play it.
Truly. Life hack.
Yeah. Get you some nostalgia. For free. What feels so bad, Koheth? I don't get why you got bad feels. Oh, because it's short? Okay. I mean, it's like one song. It's not a very large game. Alright, there we go. I think I can basically just throw on the highlights and we'll pretty much be done with this guy.
Finito.
The Advanced Wars OST? I've never heard or played that. No. I'm not one of you Zoomers who like listens to video game music as if it's like actual art.
Them's fighting words. You got Kohath to listen to almost the entirety of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Okay.
Oh no, I just remembered that off. I just remembered that. It is a good sound.
It wasn't art, it was fun. Wasn't art supposed to be fun? What? Okay, my, something's up with my pen. Okay.
Oh. Oh no.
I don't know what it was, but for some reason it wouldn't draw, it just erased.
Oh, you might have had the wrong color. Because there's 3 colors. There's your top layer, bottom layer, and alpha layer.
I don't think that was it, but maybe. I don't know. It stopped doing it now.
Because if you hit C, that changes it to the alpha layer. But who knows? Or it changes it to alpha color, which is the checkerboard line underneath your color palette.
Sometimes art is supposed to be miserable. I guess some artists make miserable art. I don't know why you would though, really. I mean, usually you make something to derive some kind of enjoyment out of something.
Art is supposed to impart a message or something to someone, something that is understandable. So if your art cannot connect with someone, then it's really not.
Anyway, time to restart the playlist.
Anyway.
cut Lamungus out of the normal layer here, and so we can make him disappear. Now, this guy should be ready to go.
You could be like Pebble Yeet and just hide Amogus in all your characters.
Alrighty. Let's save this boy. Actually, maybe I should crop the image. We can save him first.
Mhm.
Alright, let's see. Edit. Change canvas size. There we go. Scrunch the edges in there. There. Now it's an appropriate size. Oh. Should throw a tint on his lines before I do anything else. Actually. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I want to change the shading on his jaw a little bit. Just ain't correct. Place him gently atop a construct. What, so he can pilot it like a mech or something?
Mhm. That's my guess.
Maybe he can rest atop a Slugoop. Alright, new pick time. Question is, which one do we want to do next? I got a poison goblet, a potted plant, and urn cat. Let's see. Let me put them on the screen here. This guy needs to be turned. Kohes says potted plant. I guess that's what we'll do.
That'll work. This is gonna be another tentacle one. Whoop. Probably should turn my opacity all the way up. I keep thinking of things to try and talk about, but like, has it just been a really boring week? It might have.
All I can think of that really happened this week is Pokemon. Give him
That's
a dozen
Memorial Day week.
hyper-realistic hands. No Koheth. We don't put hands on the potted plants. Especially not a dozen of them. I know I'm the one who tells people, oh, if you need hand references, just take a picture of your own. But I'm not even doing that many.
Need hand references, just take a picture. Look at the cripple. He doesn't have all his fingers. Don't you ooh-woo me.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
That has to be reprimanded.
Adam wants to know if anyone's read Machiavelli. I don't read things. Unless it's like a rule book.
I have not read Machiavelli, though I've listened to many people who talk about it nonstop. Or are we thinking of Machiavellian?
Machiavelli.
Well, Machiavellian is more of a description of the same kind of
Yeah.
the attitude.
Not Machiavelli. Machiavelli. No, not Machiavellian. Machiavelli.
Well, yeah, but Machiavellian comes from
Yeah.
Machiavelli, as in it's a descriptor.
Yes.
Well, if you start talking about that, it's going to get very political.
Eh.
Mhm. Oh, yeah, that's what he's talking about. Or at least the people I listen to, that's where you... Hmm.
You know what, I just realized I'm not entirely sure what kind of classes I was gonna give this guy. Because I thought I might give him like a flower around his face. I never got around to doing that, and I'm not sure if I actually want to. Would that evoke Flowey too much, perhaps?
I wouldn't be worried about that. People who like that game are cringe anyways.
Ah, yes. Machiavelli was a total chump who just told people the truth. 0 out of 10, no creativity. Thanks for your input, Koheth. I'll take your word for it. What I'm getting is Machiavelli was not like reporters today.
Correct.
His name sounds like a noodle, so he surely can't be all that great. What noodle are we talking about? Nothing's coming to mind right off the top of my head. Oh, okay. Yeah, that Mario, he sure sounds like a noodle.
All
Adam's-
jokes at the expense of Italians are good jokes.
Might as well be.
Mhm. But you're going to say something?
Adam has given us a lore dump.
Hmm.
Like we're gonna find something out about the prince. Mario is Japanese. Koheth, what are you smoking? Mario is not Japanese.
He's literally called Italian by Shigeru Miyamoto.
He's from Brooklyn. And the Mushroom Kingdom.
You saying Italians don't live in Brooklyn?
Never seen an Italian man that short. Well, I mean... I've never seen any man that short, so... What is he if not Italian?
Italians cook with mushrooms, comes from the Mushroom Kingdom. It all checks.
Alright, Adam says, Machiavellian is a bit of a misnomer. The prince isn't really about the ends justify the means. It really isn't about morality at all. It only concerns itself with how princedoms are made and kept. It does acknowledge good and evil actions exist, but only mentions them as a pre-assumed descriptor of actions.
Hmm.
Yeah, the prince is more about, like, just political strategy and gamesmanship, is it not?
I'm not sure. I've never read it.
Yeah, actually, speaking of, like, classical literature that people like to brag about reading, I tried reading some of Art of War. I was not impressed, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically just like common sense military tactics, but wrapped in, like, clever phrasing, as far as I could tell.
Good marketing.
I guess. Guess he was hopping on early on the War for Dummies handbooks or something, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Always in.
Although I guess back in the day it probably wasn't, the information was not as readily available. Because
You
here
couldn't just.
I'm out here thinking with the benefit of like playing high-level strategy games a whole bunch most of my life, and you know, most peasants that turn into soldiers probably aren't gonna have that.
Yes, most people don't have, you know, the entire knowledge of the internet at their fingertip. Or games designed specifically about combat that were made in a fun way that it was kind of like do or die.
Yeah, and we're deep, because you'd have games like chess and all that, but they're not really a very close approximation to actual like fighting. Good mental exercises, but not really. They don't really transfer that well, I think.
No.
How would deceptional warfare work in a TTRPG? It would seem to be easier to use on the DM's end. Well, probably. Whoops,
Technically
what
is.
did I do? Ah, stupid CSP in the auto save. Okay, hold on.
I mean, what my players will do is they'll just text each,
Ah.
or they'll text me depending on what they're planning. So, like, one teammate will text they're doing something in the background, the other ones aren't paying attention.
I see. Yeah, I kind of... I would love to have like a whole like persistent world of a Crytures campaign. How would Crytures work in large-scale warfare? Now that's the question. That actually goes into a lot of things dealing with the setting in general. Let's see. And there's so many different aspects. For one thing, step 1, climb the cliff face. Yeah, Kohath, get high ground. At least in the game mechanics. But, you definitely have some logistics things you could do with Crytures, like, you got Flowsy, and, what's his name? The other one you guys just got. The bear. What the heck's his name?
You just drew it too.
Yeah, Bullseye.
Bullseye.
Yeah, he can make
Because it's
sap.
like bonsai.
Yeah. He can make sap, Flowsy can make berries. So there you've got portable rations. That'll take huge strain off of your supply chains. Plus then you've got creatures that could be used for scouting and all that. Well, you got flying creatures, of course.
You have mobility.
You got mobility.
You should be able to have something akin to tanks too. Fortification.
Actually, I think you know what probably the most common tactic would be to just send creatures into battle against one another. Because if you expose your conjurers to vulnerability, there's a chance they'll die and then they'll lose all the creatures. But if you just have the creatures go at it, you don't really have to worry about that as much because they can just heal the creatures if they ever reduce to 0.
So their warfare would probably be more akin to our modern warfare, such as we do most things by proxy and through tools and.
Maybe. Then again, if you're fighting from a distance with creatures, you wouldn't be able to directly control them. And of course, if you're using them for war and they're taking casualties, that's gonna increase your enmity with them in terms of game mechanics, and then they'll refuse to follow your orders. So might have to keep things close.
Yep. Might not just be feasible.
A hilltop city surrounded by gas straw protectors. Really the main man versus nature. So there's not a whole lot of actual warfare. At least yet. Okay, this pot geometry is kind of pissing me off. Huh. Any ground assault completely mowed down by the sheer momentum of the snail rocks. So you're saying they could just sit atop the hill, and then anytime an army approaches, they just roll on down. Know what? I like this mental exercise. Let me pull up the wiki. Brainstorm. Yeah. I need to get my ruler out so I can check how level this is. It's not level at all. Okay. Creatures Wiki. Creatures section. Global. Look at our boy Global. Global is one of those things that you could probably use for a good scout, just because he can squeeze into places and kind of hide away. Although you probably want to prefer something like a Psykit, since it can teleport around and it's got telepathy. So you don't even have to, like, it doesn't have to report back to you. Uh-oh. Having some tablet difficulties now.
Mm-hmm. Your character disappeared for like a half a second.
That is not a surprise. Whoop. Better move my thingamajig out of the way.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I'm saying the big
Is it coming back?
looks like it's still going, but now it's just me.
Oh. I like rebooted my tablet there for a second. So yeah, probably messed with the visuals.
Now you're back.
Alright, well that seemed to have worked. Anyways, where was I? psychic spies?
Psychic spies. Not having to return and,
Yeah, they wouldn't have to
inform you.
report back. You could just get their info telepathically. They can teleport into and out of danger, all kinds of places. Yeah, sidekicks would make good spies. Could also be used for traps, leading a pursuing enemy into a dangerous location and then teleporting to safety. Yeah, although they'd probably get real familiar with that tactic right away. Unless, of course, there's no survivors. What else? Let's see, Flowsy I already checked out. Torkish. Well, he's basically a walking torch. I mean, there's so many uses for that in a war situation. Oh, enemies got a camp burned down. Get Psyket to teleport him in somewhere. Let's see, Cheapy. Cheapy would probably just be good for, like, night recon, really. He doesn't have a whole lot of features that are particularly great against other humans. Just the night vision, I think, is his selling point. Still need a face for this boy.
I'm gonna tap out because I am Bush. I am. It was
Alrighty.
fun. It was fun to give you some company. See how much you can get done later.
Yeah, we'll see. See you around.
You have a good night, or well, you're waking up, but anyways, you have a good evening. Awesome.
See ya. Alright, chat, it's just you and me. Any creatures that can be used for torture or to obtain information. I don't know that I have any ones that could specifically extract info out of somebody. I think I'd deliberately steer away from that just because it would make the game too easy in some ways. Let's see what I do have. Let's see, we got Arbo, Psykit, Gumpillar, Gumbo, Petrox, Sloppy. Snowmit, Kitmern, Peepoy. Other than just the regular method of using them to hurt people, I don't think there's much that I have that would be good for extracting information from people. Gumbo could be used to terrorize Flowsy supply lines as they can fly and eat fruit. Well, the thing about the Flowsies is there are no supply lines. They just grow the food right on them. You know what? I think this guy needs an underbite. Subtle distinction there. I guess, according to the game, they don't need to sunbathe to make fruit. That's just game rules. I would think that they would in actual, like, physics. Whoops. Yeah, I'm gonna see how this guy looks with the flower around him, around his face. You know what, I'm gonna need to make it a little smaller, I think. Actually, maybe we should just make his head look like it's separate, like so. Then we can have the flower petals behind it. Any creatures that can create darkness or black out the sun. Don't think so. Of course, mythic creatures can do all kinds of stuff that I haven't clearly defined yet. Mostly because I haven't really defined any of the mythic creatures. At least not in game terms. So talking about mythic creatures, there is one I kinda have fleshed out a tad. That's the creature for the Duke of Root Run. He's got a, his mythic creature is, what is it, plant and fairy type? That much I know. And I think it'll probably have some kind of power over things that grow in its territory. And there's another one I'm thinking about that kind of goes along with the beholder looking guys I just drew. Who would be like a... He would give his conjurer the ability to basically see anything from the sky over his territory. Mythic creature based on the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs and caused a death cloud that blocked out the sun. Well, mythic creatures aren't supposed to be that big. We don't deal with Arceus types around here. Now, the gist of the mythic creatures is like they're more local nature deity type of things. Yeah. Flower at the top needs to be bigger. I ain't got room for it. Move. Oops. Wait a second. What the hell? Oh. You got all the layers selected. I forgot that was a thing in CSP. No. We don't base mythic creatures on entire concepts. They're regional. Or like Shinto kind of things. So you got the mythic creature of Rimewood Forest. You got the mythic creature of Root Run. You got the mythic creature of Sea Sprig. And so on. Lichen Land? Ugh. Honestly, I kinda hate drawing flowers. I don't know why I did this to myself. For the game, I guess. So far, I think I've only got one creature that uses the flower class. So this would be a good opportunity to get a second one that I don't want to pass up. There we go. What are you sorry for, Cohead? Just because you're the one who picked this? Needs to be done eventually. You know what? I feel like that's about all you could really see from that angle. In fact, I think this one should be angled even more. When an area is completely wiped out of life, like from a volcano or meteor, lichen is the first pilgrim species, and it comes back in a process called primary succession. That's some interesting real-world lore. I have been thinking about a volcanic region with a mythic creature that's involved in the setting. Maybe we'll make him like a lichen or something. Some kind of magma fungus or something like that. Alright, I need to erase some stuff before I can really see what's going on. You got anything happening, Koheth? You doodling anything? How big does Sluggamush's pool of slime get, and where does the slime come from? That's the secret. That is detailed setting information that I haven't decided on that yet. But the current gist of what I'm thinking is that the slime actually turns people into slop eyes, Basically dissolves their flesh and creates the creature from them, giving sentience to the ooze. I was about to correct myself and change it to sapience, but no, it's sentience. The ooze is not self-aware to begin with. Been so hot, it's a miracle I managed anything lately. Just lounging, listening along, will probably doze off at some point, so sorry about that ahead of time. Oh well. This probably won't be a super long stream to begin with. In fact, I think I might call it quits after this guy myself. Had overtime for 2 weeks in a row. So I'd like to do something besides eat, sleep, and draw creatures at some point. Yeah, I think I'm down with the flower, which is a good idea because I erased everything already. Let's align this up with his other eye a little better. Alright, color time. Could a town with a powerful conjurer make a slime mode if they could get their hands on the source? That sounds like something I would do at some point. I would not say that's impossible now. Oh. I forgot to draw this. The doit. There we go. Make it more reddish. That's too red. More desaturated. There we go. That looks more like dirt. Yeah, I thought about making this guy plant and earth type. But the other ones are kind of themed after an element of corruption. So I went with aberrant with this guy. We're gonna have this dude, whose name will be Paw Trap. He's gonna be plant and aberrant typed. And then he'll have a third class of neither of those, which will be... I forget. I thought I decided that, but I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, he'll have the golem class, so he can smash things with his pot. And then One of his counterparts is going to be Pern, which was inspired by a Minds post. And it's going to be like a little cat made out of ash. What the heck is going on here, actually? Is going to be an urn with a cat made of ash inside. It's going to be undead and fire. So we're gonna have like a trio of the starter types, the plant, fire, and water, and then they're also going to have like a secondary type that's themed around corruption. So we got the plant with aberrant, then we got the fire one will have undead, and then the last one, the water one, will be poison. So he's gonna be like a glob of poison drink in a goblet. But Kitmer will be able to copy Cheapy's scary attribute if he hears Cheapy's cry. I would not say so, no. Cheapy's fear abilities are supernatural in origin, not just because it's a scary sound. Gotta have access to that undead mana. Okay, serious question here is, what color are his petals gonna be? I feel like yellow is the first thing that comes to mind. Let's give it a try. Actually, let's make it a little duller. Ah! I think that might look alright. Then again, that is even more reminiscent of the hated Flowey of Undertale fame. Violet? Let's give her a try. I feel like that's too bold. Tone it down slightly. What if, though? What if? Oh, we make it more pinkish. Can't believe I've done this. What have I done? Maybe like so. Then we have like a triad scheme of yellow and green, and then like purple on the opposite side of the color wheel. Flowey. Crimson accents. I don't think red is gonna look good on this guy. I think we probably should do something different with his eyes though, than just having them all filled in. Thinking maybe have him like have a glow from the inside so it looks kind of like he's hollow. And maybe we'll take that. Let's desaturate that even more. Yeah. Then we can go in, do like so. New layer. Get that. And we'll use the spray brush, which is too big. You're totally with Adam. What? What do you... Where would I put the red at? Also, the spray brush ain't working. That just doesn't match the style. I have to do it the old-fashioned way. Alright, we got that. Now we get the eraser. Lower the opacity. Actually, let's get a bigger brush for this. Yeah, that looks a little better. Something's off about the color of its pot, though. I feel like that should be more reddish, actually. Tips of the yellow petals and tips of teeth. I think I'm just gonna have to ignore you guys on this one. I don't feel like having a bloodier looking aesthetic is really gonna keep with the intent here. Petals do look like something's not quite right, though. Maybe I need to tone down the vibrance a little bit. Make them a little duller. Okay, maybe not the yellow. Maybe not the purple either, jeez. Yeah, got me second guessing things. We're here to ruin your elegant creature design. Sure seems like it. This is why I hate flowers. They're too colorful. Oops. You know what? I'm just gonna start shading him, and I'll see how I feel after that's all done. Yellow petals look like they should be two-toned. I'll be thinking about all that while I'm throwing the darks on. Yeah, I'm hearing you on the two-tone. Just not on board with the same color scheme. Feel like he's already colorful enough. Just have to decide on which color to use. Maybe we'll make all his petals yellow with purple tips or something like that. Now let's fill this entire area in. And that'll be our little secret. Whoop. Alright. Time for the softening. Ooh. Alright. And the greens. And time for the highlights. Overlay. Bring it down to 20 opacity. And white. White. Oh yeah, probably should make a clipping mask out of that. I'd end up doing more reflected light on this guy than anything else. Frankly, don't see a whole lot of that in Pokemon art. Off the top of my head, at least. Maybe it's there and I just never noticed. Reflected light is one of those things that kinda gets ignored. But once you know about it, you just throw it on. Because you know it's supposed to be there. Alright. Oh. This guy has so many little things. I don't think I'm gonna color each of these things individually. I think we'll just give it a swipe, as is often done in Pokemon art anyways. Alright, time for the softening. Oh, what's going on? We're auto-saving, of course. Let's throw another layer on. I'll give them some bigger highlights there. You know what, let's... that's not gonna work. We're gonna need an entirely different layer if I want to do that. Alright, we got some bright highlights on there. Now we just take it down a tad. I think that looks alright. This one, though, don't quite look in the right position. This one could be a little longer. Alright, let's lower the opacity on the erasure and give... Whoops. Yo, one more pass on the purples. They stand out a little too much. Maybe 2 passes. Also feeling that he should be tilted one way, just to indicate that he's not actually resting on the ground, he's actually floating. Okay, do your thing, Clip Studio. Now let's talk about the color of these petals again. Get a sample of that. Okay. Let's see. You know what? I should select the yellows so I don't go out of them. It'd just be better to have like a radial gradient going on. I think that might work, but I probably need to go over with that in mind. Like give him just a straight up circle. I probably need a little more on the opacity there, buddy. Maybe not that much. Okay, let's lower it even more. I think I'm kind of down with that. But... whoops. Yeah, I don't know about that. Of course, we could go in and let's see, where is it? Advanced fill, colorize, tonal correction. Pretty novel look. Yeah, just kind of futzing about with the details right now. I think I like having it tend more towards the blue side. Yeah. Now let's just colorize the lines. We'll see how it goes. Oops. That should be darker. And I think we'll definitely need to use a second color. Let's grab the brown. We'll use that on the pot itself and the dirt. Any creatures that can dampen psychic abilities. Not at the moment. I do have a creature planned out that can travel between people's astral pockets and enter people's dreams and stuff like that. It should be pretty interesting when I actually get around to using it. So far, that's probably the most exotic use of a creature there is. I'm also thinking there might be kind of like a rust monster type of creature that can actually eat things and then poop out the essence that it's made of if it's a magic item. That's little interesting things you could do. Just a matter of thinking outside the box as much as possible. Oops. You also kind of have to think, what would be a nice thing to have? And then try to find like a creature, something that a creature could do, like provide that. Or something that would be nice to have as a result of creatures being a thing. Those would make good artifacts that people might construct. Like, I got one I'm thinking of implementing that's basically like an extractor of creatures. So if you defeat somebody in battle and like kill them, the creature is still inside that crystals, but nobody can really access them unless you go through a lengthy process of trying to convert that creature into liking you. Because otherwise he's going to be rebellious and he's just going to not listen to anything you say if you try to summon him. But if you had like an extractor that could convert the creature in a... or just basically like decompose the crystal back into its essences, that might be something that you see used. Creatures are made of magic. Could a magic item's power be channeled through a creature? I would say no. I think the general gist of magic items in creatures is that, how do you put it? They have to be activated by a human, because humans are different. Humans have the capability to do magic in a way that creatures don't. Creatures are basically just born with what they can do, and that's all they can do. But humans aren't really born with much, and they have to struggle and channel their magical powers through objects more often than not. Alright. Time to save this guy. built different. Right. Humans do not dissolve into goo when they die. Now let's just crop this a little bit. And it's about lunchtime for me. And we'll call it quits, I guess. Okay. Where is for those? Alright, let's save like so. With the quick save. You know what's bugging me? Okay, before we do all this, the outlines on the yellow. I'm not too happy with the way they look, actually. And yeah. Blah blah blah. Stands out too much. Okay, we gotta get in there in the nitty-gritty. Oh, last guy was way simpler than this one. It would probably stand to be slightly darker. Yeah, let's go with that. We'll call that done. Until I find something else I don't like about it. Off stream though, off stream. Save them as PNG. Okay. I guess that'll do it for now. So, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for boys hanging out in the